What's the plural of moose?
Mice?
This is Alex. I'm not even trying to fucking say that. But we all know him as Formula. And he's one of the people that created one of the greatest content houses of all time, the Red House. Now I gotta state, when I say that's the greatest content house, this is just subjective. This is not objective. Some people say the FaZe New York house, some say the Cloud house, some would probably say the fucking Hype house. If you do say that while you're on this video, go away. I don't want any of you. For those that don't know, the Red House consisted of 5 different people. Formula, Kiwis, Gandhi, Random, and Nix. And then sometimes there was a 6th person, whether that was Raves or Sean or some other Randy that was pulling up. The Red House was crazy because it made everyone feel like content creation really could have been an easy job. When the boys moved into the Red House, the Newport house was the new FaZe house. And they kind of just stopped uploading. No one was really fucking with it. They also got like bombarded for smoking pot. What? If only you knew the drugs FaZe Banks does now. And I'm blocked. That's a joke, Ricky. I know you're clean. Good on you. So when some of the FaZe fans were disappointed with the Newport house and the lack of content and kind of the shitty content they were making, the Red House was right there to just, scoop them all up. But the Red House didn't just appear out of nowhere. The reason I mentioned the FaZe house and not other content houses because they actually birthed Red. As FaZe was moving to CSGO and other ventures, their Call of Duty interest was kind of on the decline, and they made the Red Reserve as a backup team, and that was the place to put Call of Duty clips and just like put out the team tages, and that was really it. If you wanted just COD content of like trick shots, sniping, whatever, you go to the Red channel thing. How did I... And that's how it started. It was a bit messy at the beginning. I bet most of you didn't know this, but Saw Mac was actually the original leader. But essentially, Red Reserve was born. The Red boys saw the FaZe house and were like, we gotta do the same thing. A lot of them were graduating high school or just had, so they're like, why not do like a 2-year gap year, see what we can do with the Red House. And boy, did they fucking take it. But the greatest creator there, obviously, and without a doubt, everyone fucking agrees, was Gandhi. Holy shit, those vlogs were fantastic. Through Gandhi's vlogs, and then a bit of like watching the cut comms and the content Random was making, it was kind of like its own Marvel Cinematic Universe where every so often it would intertwine, a story would pop up, and seeing them build this bare-ass house, which at first I thought was crazy expensive, but turns out was actually a reasonable price for back then. Now it's gonna cost me a foot for, a week's rent. We love that. But essentially, seeing them grow and make content was so inspiring to the whole CODCOM. Little did we know there was way more behind the curtain. So fast forward, the boys are making content, they're making videos, they're making bit of cash, bit of money, it's pretty good. But then, as everyone does, you think about the future. Now, I'm none of these boys, so I can't speak on the money aspect. But if you kind of look at the vlogs, look behind the curtain a bit, I'm certain they didn't have crazy savings and they were kind of just working on YouTube and just making the money that they can for rent. I don't know. They could tell me, hey boys, comment on the video, let us know. Were you balling? I know Nick's made money off that Little Pump Black Ops 2 video. This is the most insane thumbnail of all time. The Red House had some insane thumbnails. Choking on a fly, that's the most insane thumbnail of all time, actually. But give it some time and everyone wants to progress. They want to do something new, okay? Everyone does it. I do it. I bought a green screen for Christ's sake, and I'll keep mentioning it until it's a tax-deductible item. But essentially, they wanted to move into esports, and you need a lot of money to get into esports. And so what do? Investors, come on, esports is growing. There's so much money in esports. Now, at the time, Formula owned 85% of the company, and the other boys in the house owned 15 collectively. Formula did the one thing you don't do in business, unless like you're really desperate for money and you just need some job security and you want some shit done, and the peer pressure gets to you. Essentially, all that happened to Formula, without a doubt. Just crumbled because there's a bunch of rich billionaires in Switzerland in front of him. He's like, money, but you gotta give us 51% of the company. Essentially, they would have no control over the company. Now, eventually the crack started to break and the audience eventually realized shit was going downhill. They had a bunch of promises to give the boys a bunch of sponsors for the house, so that they could pay rent, so they could live in the house. That didn't end up happening. You remember X Gamer? Remember that shitty little energy drink that they try to sell to everyone? That was probably one of the few sponsors that they had to get themselves and like make a bunch of money on. Like, it was really, really obvious. To me, at least. Yeah, it was pretty fucking obvious. I really do feel bad for the guys. Like, the Red House was a product that was just phenomenal, but just like right product, wrong time. Like, think about all the clips and the amazing shit that Gandhi could have put on TikTok. Holy shit. Red House would have been through the stratosphere. It would have been great because it wouldn't be a TikTok house, it'd be a content house. Like, they had a really natural relationship, at least on camera. It looked really natural. I said this in the full trick shotting video, but essentially it all fell through. Red Reserve became a joke. I think they had 5 to 7 creators on the roster that they were just pumping all into. It didn't work well. It was such a shit show. The Red House was a really, really awesome time. I enjoyed so much of their content. It really, really was a fantastic time. There was a lot of creativity coming from Random and Gandhi. I guess for the time, the cut comms were kind of funny. I mean, Formula started making his own videos. I think he clearly started making his own videos because he sold 51% of the company. He's like, well, better become a YouTuber. And then started clickbaiting World War II ass and choking on flies. Didn't he call Satan in an Xbox Live? These are malfunctioning. This is fucking insane. I need water, I'm gonna break down. Now, the Red House may be a failure of a product and, you know, it crumpled, and it's kind of sad that it did. I'm not crying, I'm choking on rice. But thankfully, at least the fellas, the guys I talked about at the beginning, at least they have a happy ending. I bet they're all fucking loaded from their V-Bucks money. Good on them, get your bag and get the fuck out. And I know that Gandhi, he didn't go the Fortnite route, but you know, he was making Stranger Things parodies, and now he works on Stranger Things. He was a recent VFX artist for it. How cool is that? These boys really learned a lot in the Red House and definitely made a lot of the community believe they could be YouTubers. But when you peel back the curtain, kind of open your eyes a bit and don't get blinded by like the entertainment, it's a hard shindig running these content houses.